want to marry this person and this person does not want to have children, but you want to have children, don't marry them thinking they're going to change their mind to have children later, because anything can happen. He could look, you know what? Don't do that.
We got to see how we are when we're mad. Point blank period. You might call me crazy, all that good stuff, but I saw the good, the bad, and the ugly, man, and we worked our way through it.
If you are somebody who goes to church, you're a firm believer of the Lord and you serve him, but your partner doesn't, yes, that person could change their mind and find Christ, but if they don't, you can't be upset if they don't.
What's going on, world? You already know what time it is.
It's your girl, Nikki.
Your boy, D, man, and you guys are officially tuned into the BKBQ Podcast, man, where we highlight Black love, Black legacy, Black excellence, man. Let's get it. Let's go. You already know what time it is, baby girl, how you feel?
I'm feeling great. I'm feeling really, really, really great. One, because we're actually sitting here podcasting. Bruh. That is like a clap, a pat on the back. That's everything. So I'm feeling great about that. And there are no kids today, so I'm also feeling really good about that. How are you feeling?
I'm feeling good, man. You said no kids, but low-key, we got to get the kids in like 2 hours, so we don't even got that much time. That's but like, you know, the couple hours that we got without them was pretty nice. Can't lie. Pretty nice. But yeah, man, today, what we talking about? Today?
Today, we're going to go into some conversations, tips, and tricks, and things that you should know before getting into marriage, before making a union, before committing completely. What are some things, some conversations, discussions you should have with your partner?
Right, that's crazy. Beforehand. Like a little backstory. Before we got married, man, I thought I knew everything about Nikki. You can tell me nothing. Like, it's funny. We got married, and the first day of the honeymoon, I actually called my mom. I'm like, yo, are you supposed to feel something? Like, cause it don't feel like nothing. It feels like I'm still chilling with my best friend. Like, yo, educate me. Like, what do we do? Like, am I doing something wrong? Like, what up though? Like,
we're literally cruising on the ship. We're just like, he's trying to find signal to call his mom. Like, what is this?
I'm looking at Nikki on the boat like, you're my wife? Like, yeah, what does that mean now? Like, I don't feel anything different. Like, what's going on? But I mean, yeah, we did. Although we didn't date, man, we were literally best friends. And even still, like 5 years in now, there's a lot more we found out about each other. So like, yo, trust me, if you could do some work before you get married, trust me, it'll save you a lot of headache. Yo. So, all right, baby girl, what's number one? What's the number one thing you got?
Number one thing I got is something that I always preach now, having learned the importance of it, is communication. Keep that line of communication open. Be honest from the jump and just express yourself, explain everything to your partner, and make sure that you guys have that kind of relationship. So if you guys are going through something, make sure that you be vocal about it. Don't keep it to yourself, because then you're going to get to a point where you're like, everything just starts to build up and then you just word vomit everything to your partner. And then they're kind of like, okay, where did this all come from? What is this? We could have dealt with that 3 weeks ago when the thing initially happened. So very, very important. It sounds very cliche. I say it all the time, but keep that line of communication open and make sure you practice that.
Trust me, man, you want to be able to communicate openly with your significant other, because I'll tell you this, man, whoever you are communicating with, especially if it's someone of the opposite sex, man, you are asking for trouble, because when things go south with your person, the first person you're going to is that other person, and let me tell you something, you guys might create another person. Right? So, that was dope.
That was sick. Caught me off guard, that one.
Yeah, if you don't know what I'm talking about, man, let's say for instance it's me. I'm married to Nikki, right? If I'm not openly communicating with Nikki and I'm openly communicating with another female friend, when me and her getting something, I will now go to my other female friend, talk to her about all that stuff, develop that, you know, that good standing with her. And the next thing you know, something happens over here and this end, we're not doing too good. I'm vulnerable with her. She's vulnerable with me. We now are open with each other. That could lead to other things. And if that leads to another thing like a baby, then golly, you know what I'm saying? So you just want to make sure that you're out. Like, this is your person. When you're going through whatever you're going through, you have to create a safe space where you can go to her openly, no judgmental zone, and like just pour out. She could do the same, right? Because trust me, we'll save a lot of headache.
Yeah.
Trust and believe me.
And if you have a hard time being vocal, like using your words, you can find other ways to get those thoughts out. So we've also tried once to write in a journal. So you have this private journal. Whatever you put in this journal stays in that journal. You guys never have to talk about it openly like this. It's just in that book. So you write what you're feeling, you get a response from your person, and you guys solve it in the book. If you have a hard time being vocal like this.
That leads to another thing, like conflict resolution. Like, so how are you going to react when conflict arises, right? So my thing was when I grew up on, I was like, yo, you know what, man? Like, before I even get down this aisle, or before I see Nikki walk down this aisle, we got to see how we are when we're mad. Point blank period. You might call me crazy, all that good stuff, but I saw the good, the bad, and the ugly, man, and we worked our way through it. I'm gonna talk about this story, man. There's one time, like, we weren't even dating, so we were like best friends, and the thing is, I'm not gonna make her sound crazy. We knew where each other were at, but I was still just like, yo, figuring out myself. And I was going somewhere one time and we were fighting. And I looked out the window. I was getting on a GO train and there she was. I was just like, holy, is that, no way, yo, like this girl. I'm like, what is wrong? I saw the good, the bad, the ugly. She was ready to tear my head off.
Just don't ignore me.
Right, y'all? Because I was ignoring her, guys. Like, hey, low-key, like I was with another girl on the train and all that stuff. Like, I was with another girl. So I looked out, I see Nikki outside. I'm like, oh, shoot. Okay, she's like, nah, don't play with me like that. So we saw the good, the bad, the ugly. We fought it out sometimes, all that good stuff. But at the end of the day, it's knowing how we bounce back from that. Like, am I going to go the extra mile to call her outside her name? How far am I going to go? Like, how far does this person go? Does she hit below the belt? Like, and does that happen like frequently? Like, are you just going for the kill every single time? Or are we like arguing, but there's still love, there's still grace in the middle of it? Right? Sometimes you got to take a step, take a walk, take whatever. Do what you got to do, but don't do nothing that you're going to regret in the heat of an argument. Trust me, I'm talking from experience. I've done it. Right? And you might do it too, but the key is to grow from it. Right? And that's how you think.
Yeah, pretty much just knowing how your person reacts in this light and in that light and being able to adjust to it. Because like he said, you don't want to say something that you're going to regret later on. You don't want to do something that you're going to regret later on or have to feel bad for later. Just take your time, figure that person out, figure out that season and work through it in a way that both of you can agree on. Yeah,
because like, so when we first got together, when things happen, I'm always like, yo, let's deal with it right now, yo. I don't care, yo. Like, you talk right now. She was like, I'm not talking right now. Like, she's silent. But I mean, over the years, she's now communicating. But see, like, she's using the tips and tricks that she's providing. I see, she's what? Communicating a little bit better. Look at her. Like, look at you. Like, girl, you got it. Like, upgrade. Like, talk about leveling up. Like,
I honestly really hated talking, especially It's not even confrontation. Like, I just don't want to talk about what is happening.
Yeah.
And I found holding it in did me no good.
Yep.
And talking about it did a little bit better.
No, a lot better.
I'm joking, guys. It does a lot better. It does a lot better. Just talking it out, because even though, okay, and here's the thing though, sometimes you get it off of your chest, but it's still okay to feel mad about it.
Yeah.
Like, it's still okay to feel off. Like, but the fact that you talked about it and you were vocal about it and you got your feelings out and everybody's clear about how what each other feels, that's the good place. Because after you get over your upsetness, you guys are good.
Yeah, big facts.
So, yeah.
And it's like, yo, loving your person even through all of that. Like, yo, you sent me this thing the other day where it's just like, man, this couple's arguing and they're going outside in the rain. The husband with the umbrella like, yo, whatever, bro. Like, make
You're
sure
mad,
she's good.
but
like,
you still care.
You mad, but yo, this is still the woman of your dreams. Hey, don't get it twisted. Like, yo, how are you going to react when you're mad? And I don't care. Find that out, man. Before you walk down the aisle, find it out. Like, how does this person react when he's mad or when she's mad? How do they deal with pressure? Do they hit below the belt? Point blank, period.
Because they could do something that really triggers you.
Mm-hmm.
And if you didn't know that getting into this.
Oh, and that's another thing. This point is crazy.
Ugly.
This point is crazy. So, like, that is bad. So, if I know that something triggers her, right? And we get in a fight and I use that thing, that is the most dangerous kind of person. I don't care. Like, yo, if you're going to know that this is what I struggle with and this thing, like, caused me so much trauma and blah, 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 the second we get in a little argument, you're going to come throw that in my face, like, like word vomit. Woo. Don't do that. Like, don't do that.
Don't get caught.
Like, don't do that. Like, I used to be that guy. Like, I used to be that guy. Not no more. God save me. God save me. Point blank. Period. I don't think it was with you. Was that that way with you? No, not with you. But I'm talking about like
so
growing up, like coming up. I was that guy. Like, but not. It's bad. Don't do it. Don't do it. Next. What we got so next?
Funny.
Like,
that's bad.
That's bad.
Another thing that I have is making sure that you guys have the same goals and values, and maybe they don't have to be the same, but you guys have to have some level of understanding for each other's goals and values. So something right off the dome. If you want to marry this person and this person does not want to have children, but you want to have children, don't marry them thinking they're going to change their mind to have children later, because anything can happen. He could, don't do that. It's not a thing. If you are somebody who goes to church, you're a firm believer of the Lord and you serve him, but your partner doesn't. Yes, that person could change their mind and find Christ, but if they don't, you can't be upset if they don't. So get into this kind of thing, understanding those person's values, that person's goals, and make sure you guys are aligned in that way, because you don't want to be upset and feel a type of way if it doesn't go the way you want it to go, or things start to go left.
I know we've seen that a lot of times, like especially in our upbringing, when someone marries someone, like let's say just because they had a baby, but their values weren't in alignment and their morals weren't in alignment, and we've seen that be the biggest mistake of that person's life. Or someone marries someone believing that they will change, and 10 years go down the line, they're like, oh my God, I can't believe this guy's like this. But yo, you married me here. Like, this is who I was. Like, when you found me, like, I didn't say I would be here. Like, and even if I say, like, if you don't see it and you don't know it to be true, you can't go based off of potential, what you think this person has. It's like, yo, what is he showing me right now? And am I okay right now if you never change? Like, and that is hard, because at the end of the day, we know, like, marriage is a journey. You're always evolving. But what if that person doesn't? Like, do I love you where you're at right now? And would I stay with you through thick and thin with you not moving a needle? Period. Right? So, like, that's tough. Another thing is, hey, man, financial goals. Like, what's your financial background? Like, are you coming into this thing with like $100,000 worth of debt, $1 million worth of debt? Because, like, hey man, I don't want the thing that sucks is if you get into something, you get married now, and everything is worse. Like, you're worse off after the marriage than you were when you were by yourself, right? So be open. Like, don't lie. Like, find out, hey man, what does this person do with money? How do they react with money? What do they do with money? Like, what does that look like? Are they a big spender? Like, yo, do we have any sort of like accountability when it comes to money? Like, are we doing shared accounts? Like, how do you feel about a shared account? Like, a lot of people get into marriage like, hey, no, we're supposed to share account. No, some people are like, what's mine is mine, and what's yours is yours. But let me tell you something, like, how it should be is when you get into a relationship or a marriage, what's yours is ours. Point blank, period. There's no yours, there's no mine. It should be ours. Now, at the end of the day, if you get into a marriage where you guys have your own contracts, and it's like, well, I'm allowed to have my thing here and you're allowed to have your thing there, then we can have a joint account. That's cool, or whatever. That's how you guys work it out. But you don't want to go into that not knowing or assuming that, hey, like, we're gonna be in this together, and that person, your spouse, is just like, nah, what's mine is mine, bro. Like, yo, you're crazy. Go do what you do with yours, but don't touch mine.
Yeah.
Like, what do you think about that?
Figure out your debt. That's what you got. We'll start anew here. So I think it goes back to like the values thing too. Like, you gotta know these things before you jump into it. Like, know where they are financially, know how they spend. Like, for Dean, he will do one big shopping at one time and just like spend a lot of money in that one time, but for the rest of the year he's not buying anything. Whereas me, I'm the type of person, if I go somewhere and I see this, like, I like it. It makes me happy to buy a pencil. I would love to just buy a pencil. So I'm that kind of guy. Like, I spend little bits here and there, so you don't see it as much. So Dean's, you'll be like, holy cannoli, like, why did you use so much money? Whereas me, it's like these tiny little things you don't really notice, but at the end it probably builds up to be a thing. Know where they are financially.
Point blank, period. And it could play a big role. Like, I talk about it all the time. We lost it all. Like, we lost it all. So another thing is find out why your partner is there. Because if you're somebody that got money and you're good, you'll find out. Like we hit rock bottom. When I'm talking about rock bottom, I mean we were below the mud, right? Like we got below the mud and we got stronger, right? Because the relationship wasn't built on our financial situation, man. It was built on trust, was built on love, and foundation was God, right? And at the end of the day, like nothing can break you. Nothing can break you if God is your foundation, right? So a lot of people marry for money. Like this will be a good business decision. What happens when it falls away? When it all goes away? What happens when like the money's gone and all that stuff? What happens then? Like what are you standing on? What is your foundation? Right. So don't ever let money be your foundation. Yes, the goal is to be prosperous and grow together and all that stuff, but the foundation can't be based on that because I'm telling you, it comes and goes, man. And when it goes, are you still gonna be riding through the mud with that person? Like, trust me, it gets dangerous. But are you built to survive it or not? So yeah, that's that. What else you got, baby girl?
All right. I don't know what number we're at, but another thing that I have is knowing your person's love language.
Oh,
okay,
God, here we go.
Because like Dean says, like Dean says, you're always growing, you're always evolving, things are always changing. So what might make sense to you and show love to you in this season, next month might not be the thing that gets me high. You know what I mean? So like, I loved quality time. I thought that was everything. I still love it, but now I need that like helping hand. That speaks more volume to me now than just sitting down and watching TV. My seasons have changed. So being able to understand
crazy.
that.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, I think that's,
cool.
yeah.
But I know that. I know that.
Yeah. Because
I didn't know, we didn't talk about it, but like,
did.
Just if you watch the last podcast, that's what I was talking. The last episode, that's what I'm talking about. That's crazy. Wow, you see that? You're always evolving, girl.
It's crazy.
Like,
and I don't think I really noticed it until it just came out of my mouth. But I think like anytime you ask me, like, "Hey, what do you need from me?" Before, once upon a time, it'd have been like, "Just hang out with me, like, just chill with me, like,
facts.
you know, I just sitting and just looking in your eyes. It's like that's all I need." But I think
your boy got light brown eyes and all that stuff. You know what I'm saying, man? Mesmerized. Yeah, I got it.
But if you were to ask me now, it's help me. Like, help.
Bruh.
He'll be like, how?
Right.
Anywhere, with anything. Just help. If you see it, do it.
Yeah, you get a couple
mentioned
kids
it before.
And,
move the laundry basket from A to B. Like that speaks volumes, believe it or not.
Yep.
So like, you're always changing, you're always evolving, being able to recognize where your person is and being vocal about where you are. Because like I said, I never said that to you, but I guess I've said it in action.
Yeah.
But
And so I'm going to tie both two together right now. So your love language, like you can only really know that by being open and communicating. So that's crazy. You've never said that to me. Like your love language changed from quality time to whatever, but I automatically just start asking, yo, what can I do? Like, wait, what can I do to like take some stress off you? Because yo, it's stressful. Like, so what you want me to do with the kids? You want me to cook? You want like, yo, what's good? So like, if you're always open, you will pick up on some things without a word having to be said. Yeah. Like, but just because you're open and just because you guys develop that bond, like, you know what I mean? Like now we got chemistry. So it's just like, okay, cool. 5 years deep, we better got chemistry. We better have some damn chemistry. Yeah, but like, yeah, that's crazy. Yeah, love language and everything is great, but it can't be like utilized to its full potential if there's no communication happening. Like, so it goes hand in hand because sometimes I'm telling you, in the thick of things, like when you really get frustrated, you don't really want to vocalize some things. Like some things that will be like, yo, it's funny. It's crazy. Like it literally just happened. You're just like, I came upstairs, I had a meeting or whatever, and I was like, you didn't even ask me how it went. You're like, bro, I have to ask you to tell me something? Why wouldn't you just know to tell me how the meeting went? Or point blank period or anything? Like, sometimes you're okay, all right, let's analyze the situation. All right, I know she's just going to want me to do this because, we're open. We've been talking about this. Okay, I see it. All right, boom, let's get it done. Point blank period. And that's it. Like, so, yeah, that's a biggie. That's a biggie. What else we got? So next one I say is shared responsibilities. That's good because
it's kind of like what we were just talking about.
We're just talking about it. So shared responsibilities. Let's say everybody looks at the husband and says, yeah, you're the provider, you this, that, all that stuff. But the responsibility of taking care of children, I have to wipe my eyes for this, bro. It's crazy, right, yo? So sometimes I'll be on the road or whatever, and bro, I come home, whatever, kids are going crazy. It's like, all right, yo, how can I take the kids? What can I do? You need me to shower the kids? All right, cool. I'll shower the kids. Like, point blank period. How can I take some stress off of her life? How can I relieve her from something? And vice versa. Like, what could she do for me? Like, if I'm having a crazy day, rub me down, like whatever. The other day we were just massaging each other's feet.
Oh, that was glorious.
Like, you know what I'm saying? I'm just like,
that was
bro,
glorious.
I'm like, I didn't even know it was that. Wow, this is nice. Like, I was like, who'd have thunk? Like, okay, like, let me put my feet up a little more often, man. Like, golly, like, I love this. I can get used to this. Like, but it's like, yeah, it's little things like not thinking that you're above like doing a particular thing.
Yeah.
Right. And it's just like, man, like, you gotta, hey, whatever it is, if you see it, just do it. And sometimes that's just being more aware. Like she said, for the infamous laundry basket clip. I'll be walking by that thing. I don't even see it, to be honest. I wouldn't even see it. But now it's like, you'll just pay more attention, man. like be more aware and just be like, oh, okay, all right, I got it. But how do you know it? Because she talked about it. If she kept it in, she would have just built resentment inside her. And then she would have just spazzed. And I wouldn't have received that well.
No.
Like, you know, it'd be like, yo, we're grounding, man. Like, what the hell are you doing? You don't even do like, oh, fam, first of all, oh, hold up. Wait a minute. Like, what are we talking about, right? But now, like, because the open communication lines were like clear, it's like, all right, cool. I see it. All right. I'm going to lend a helping hand, share the responsibility, and go from there. Like, to each his own, but that's how we do it, man. Because, man, where I see you need help, I'm going to help you. Where she sees I need help, she's going to help me. That period.
And I think you said something really key there too, where it's just like, don't think that you're too big or too good enough to do a certain thing. Because at the end of the day, if you do get married and you do have children together, you guys had children together. You guys built this house together. It's not a one-way stream. Yes, one person will take on a more leading role in certain areas, but at the same time, one person shouldn't feel as though that is their exclusive job. Like, I'm exclusive to doing laundry, or I'm exclusive to cleaning, and he specifically fixes the car. It's not like that. And so,
yeah, and there's some things that like they're just better candidates for.
Yeah, no, don't get me wrong, 100%, not better candidates, 100%. But don't feel like you're subject to doing it by yourself and that you have to do it. Because I'm the mom, I have to wash the clothes, or I have to do this. Nah, he knows how to pick up soap and do it too, and vice versa.
Like, for example, like
I could put gas in the car too.
One day we got in an argument or whatever. I'm like, yo, fam, I'll do my own clothes. But she got cheese at me for wanting to do my own clothes.
Because you said it ignorantly.
So there's some things that she would actually want to do. But let's say, for example, there's a day and there's laundries everywhere, right? And laundries, the bag is the capacity. She gets tied up on the road or whatever, and she hits me and she says, yo, Dean, can you do laundry? I wouldn't be like, do laundry? Nah, yo, when you come home, go get that done, bro. Like, I'm not doing that. You're crazy. Nah, it would be like, okay, like, say less. Let's go. Let's get it done. Some people would be like, do the laundry? Hell no. I'm not doing. That's your thing, yo. When you get home, do that. Like, yo, worry about that. I don't touch that stuff. Like, that's beneath me. Nah, like, let's lend a helping hand at all costs, man, because at the end of the day, trust me, it's going to do you some justice, man. If you do it right, you'll feel me, man. Like, trust me. You already know. All right, what we got next?
What else do we got? The list runs long, y'all.
I could talk about one right now. So, like,
okay,
I think seeing how that person deals with commitment. So, like, how have they been committed to things in their life, or how committed have they been to things in their life?
No,
you know what I'm saying?
Right?
Like, so, like, let's say, like, for me, like, there's one thing I haven't been committed to. Like, there's only one thing.
Let me say it.
One thing. Like, she could tell you it right now. What is that?
The gym.
And that's it. Like, that's it. It's been terrible. But that's one thing, right? Every other thing in my life, I started the commitment, I'm going to finish the commitment. Like, point blank, period. It might take a little bit longer for me to finish some of them, but I'm going to finish it. So, like, in my head is what I start, I must finish. preach to myself. Like, I went to the gym. I'm supposed to be going to the gym. It's just not happening. But in every other area, like I said, I'm going to finish it. So you want to know how this person views commitment. Like, are they a person that starts a lot of things and then just stops it? Or do they have integrity? Like, hey, I started this thing. I'm going to finish it. Even if I might not like it right now, I'm going to finish it just because I started it. Because in relationships and marriages, you're going to get to a season, I'm telling you, it's going to be rocky. But if you remember the why, why did I get in this thing? Why did God bring us together? What was the purpose that was supposed to be fulfilled from this union? Have we fulfilled it yet? No. So what am I going to do? Stand firm in this thing, right? And some people will just be like, they get adversity in marriages and it's over. I can't deal with this. I'm done. I can't deal with this. I'm done. Like, it's over. But like, nah, like, I'm committed to this for a long haul. It's funny. I was just talking to somebody yesterday, one of her friends. She was doing her hair. I was just like, right now, if you were to tell me that in 20 years from now, me and Nikki would be divorced, I would slap you upside your face. Like, I just don't see it. Yeah. But it's crazy. I said, a lot of people that get to year 25 probably didn't see it. But the funny thing is, a lot of them probably did see it. Like, a lot of them actually knew that, hey, you know what? I'm not. This is not the best thing for me. I'm settling with this thing. So they had that settling mentality from the jump, and it carried on to year 25. And the next thing you know, it's over with. Yeah. But man, you analyze that. You gotta know that. Like, yo, is this person actually committed to me for the rest of their life? Will they be committed to me? And see how they view other things that they say they're committed to. What do you think? Yeah,
I think you said that very well. Nothing. Did you read a book once that gave you that kind of idea to commitment?
Atomic Habits.
Yeah, I feel like you've made mention to get into it, y'all.
Yeah, Atomic Habits. If you don't have that book and you're trying to like change your mind and the way how you operate and build habits and stick to things and get it done, like the whole ecosystem around that, read the book, Atomic Habits by James Clear. Trust me, will change your life.
I need to get into it.
Oh, yeah.
All right. Another point that I have is compromise and flexibility. So being able to just, in a situation, like he said, there will be highs, there will be lows, but being able to find that balance and being okay with not always getting your own way.
Yep.
Because a lot of us always want to get our own way.
Sometimes you got to sacrifice something for the team, bro.
And it's not easy. Like, it's not always easy. But sometimes you have to do it, especially with the man being the head of the household, if you believe in that. It's hard because sometimes my ideas, I feel, or my choices or things I want to say are good and they're right and we should do it. But if your husband says, yay, if he's going to be the head of the house, you have to be okay with trusting him to lead you guys.
Yeah, facts.
Or to lead you. So being able to compromise and meet in the middle for other little things too, even for what you want to eat for dinner. Like, I want tacos, I want pizza. Okay, well, what are you going to do? You have to be able to compromise and meet at a certain level. And it can fall in many streams of your marriage and your relationship. But being able to pick it up and being okay with compromise and not always being the right.
Yeah, I agree. And the last thing I ended on is just being emotionally available for your person, man. Like
we went through that.
Oh, we did?
A little bit of just like me not really. You vocalized that to me that when you're in stresses sometimes before, he didn't really receive that I was trying to be there for him. Like, it wasn't connecting.
Oh,
whereas in my head and my heart of hearts, I was 100% there for you. Like, I hugged you. I said my words, but it just wasn't hitting. Like, it wasn't being received.
Yeah, it felt like,
it felt very surface. Like, you're not hitting the spot that I need to be touched. Right? So, yeah, to your point now.
Like, I think that's being that's facts. Being emotionally available for them. And that's like, actually like hearing them, man. Like, when your person is speaking with you and like, you're talking with you, like, don't listen to just listen. Like literally hear them from the depths of their soul. Like, and be like, yo, how can I be this person that is here for you? Because like I said, you don't want any other person to fill that void, man. Like, so it has to be you. And I'm telling you, now we're at a space where like, I don't even need to hear anything from anybody. Once wifey says, yo, I got you, it's a wrap. Like, I'm like, all right, let's go.
We're doing
Vice
better.
versa. Like, and
sure.
and that's just what it is. So yeah, you guys let me know. Let us know in the comment section down below if you found that these tips were helpful and insightful, man. But you guys already know my motto is choose purpose over fear every day of your life. Why? Because there's an entire audience out there waiting on your yes. So I'm trusting and believing that you will be the very best person that God created you to be. Live your best life on purpose. You already know what time it is, man. It's your boy Dean
And your girl Nikki.
and we out. Peace.